London, 1983. A blocked drain on Cranley Gardens brings plumbers to investigate. What they find is not grease, not rubbish, but human flesh. The police are called, and within hours they arrest the tenant upstairs, Dennis Nilsen. Calm, polite, and terrifyingly candid, he confesses to killing 15 or 16 men over the past 5 years. This documentary tells the story in his own words, the Nilsen Tapes. Dennis Nilsen was born in 1945 in Fraserburgh, Scotland. His father abandoned the family early, leaving Dennis to grow up under the care of his mother and grandfather. When Dennis was 6, his grandfather, the only man he felt close to, died suddenly. The sight of his body laid out in a coffin seared an image into the boy's mind. From that moment, Dennis associated love, comfort, and death in ways that would twist as he grew older. As a teenager, Nilsen enlisted in the British Army, training as a cook. He served in West Germany, Cyprus, and the Middle East. To fellow soldiers, he was disciplined, quiet, and solitary. But inside, Dennis was consumed by fantasies of control, possession, and bodies that would never leave him. Loneliness defined his youth, a loneliness he would later try to erase through murder. Leaving the military, Nilsen settled in London, working first as a police officer, then as a civil servant. Outwardly ordinary, inwardly isolated. He frequented pubs, meeting young men, some homeless, some runaways, some simply looking for company. In 1978, he moved into a flat at 195 Melrose Avenue, Cricklewood. Within months, that address would become the site of multiple killings. On December 30th, 1978, Nilsen met a man named David Gallican. They drank together, returned to Nilsen's flat. In the morning, fearing abandonment, Nilsen strangled him with a tie. Instead of disposing of the body immediately, Nilsen washed it, dressed it, and kept it in his flat for months. This pattern, murder then ritual care, would define his crimes. Over the next 5 years, at least 12 more men were killed at Melrose Avenue.
The victims shared a tragic similarity. They were vulnerable, often without family or stable housing. Nilsen lured them with alcohol, companionship, or the promise of shelter. Once inside, they were strangled, drowned, or both. But Nilsen did not see himself as a killer. He saw himself as preserving companionship. Bodies were kept for days, even weeks, seated in armchairs as if still alive. When decomposition set in, he dissected them, burning remains in the garden bonfire or flushing fragments down the drains. In 1981, Nilsen moved to a top-floor flat at 23 Cranley Gardens. Without a garden to burn remains, he resorted to dismembering victims and flushing them away. Neighbors soon complained of foul smells and blocked plumbing. In February 1983, a plumber investigating the drains pulled out flesh and bone. The trail led straight back to Nilsen. When police knocked on his door, Nilsen did not run. He offered tea, then quietly admitted, "It's a long story. It goes back a long time." Over days of interviews, he detailed his killings with chilling calm. He spoke of his loneliness, of wanting company that would never leave. He described the bodies as if they were still companions, revealing a psyche more chilling than the murders themselves. At the Old Bailey in 1983, Nilsen was charged with 6 counts of murder and 2 of attempted murder. His defense claimed diminished responsibility, arguing he was insane. But prosecutors argued he was fully aware, fully in control, and had planned his crimes meticulously. The jury agreed, finding him guilty. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, with a recommendation he serve at least 25 years. Dennis Nilsen spent the rest of his life behind bars, writing memoirs and recording tapes that revealed his chilling mindset. He died in prison in 2018 at the age of 72. But his story endures,
not only as one of Britain's most infamous serial killers, but as a reminder of the danger hidden in plain sight, and the lives of vulnerable young men who never made it home.